how I should get prepared, what are the signs that I should look into it. So to give this topic, our loving Dr. Naseem Parveen is here. Those who have seen her will never say oh my God, I love her. That's the only thing you may say to her. She's so charming, always loving towards her patients. And she's the senior most obs and gynecologist practicing in Bloom Hospital for the last 2 years. And she'll be giving in detail explanation of about this topic today. So please post your questions or any queries in the chat box as we keep having this topic by Dr. Naseem. We'll get this answers in this chat box also. So we are just muting you all so that we don't get interfered at the time of the webinar. So Dr. Naseem, it's over to you now. You can start.
Good evening to one and all. Thank you, Jayashree, for the sweet introduction. There is so much joy to be here with you all. Actually, this topic is always my ever favorite topic, the labor. And I'm so happy to share the details about it. I wish I can see you all, but it's okay. I mean, maybe. So let me go to the topic. Actually, it's easy. You people made my job very easy because I was just thinking, what to talk. Then I got a lot of questions, which were excellent questions. So by answering your questions, I think I will be able to, do justice to this topic. Right? I'm sure I'm audible to everyone now. If there is not audible, you can just, post it in the chatting group. Okay. Okay, let me start saying thank you to Dr. Kavita and Bloom Fertility for giving me this opportunity, especially to Mr. Vinod, who has made all these arrangements very sincerely. So the labor preparation topic. So the most important thing in labor is to differentiate between a true labor pain and a false labor pain. Okay. So that is the thing of this topic. So I just want to talk about it to begin with, and then I'll maybe answering all your queries. Okay. So the labor pain is like, for the first time, for the people who are pregnant for the first time, they are the people who are very concerned because they don't know how the pain will be, where it will be, all the concerns are there. So the pain, the true labor pain is the pain which, with time, it should increase. Okay, what pain you experience now and the same pain after an hour should be more than what you experienced an hour before. Okay, so it has to be painful, and the thing is, it will not be a continuous pain. It has to come only in intervals. There has to be a break. Okay. So the pain will last for 10 seconds, for example, or 15 seconds. And after that, the pain may not be there for 2 to 3 minutes. And then the same pain, it will restart again. Okay. With time, the same pain will increase. The pain intensity will increase. And the duration, earlier, if it was coming once in every half an hour, it will start coming once in every 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and slowly reducing it to once in every 10 minutes, 5 minutes. This will be very gradual. Okay, so you will have lot of time to understand the pain, and it will be very gradual. Okay, so the pain, the initial pain will not be very severe pain, but you will definitely feel the discomfort. Okay, and along with this pain, you may or you may not have a discharge from your vagina, which is called a show. It can be bloody, or it can be just like a curdy thing discharge mixed with blood, or just white discharge. Mostly it will be mixed with blood because the uterus mouth starts opening, right? And when this labor pain is happening in the uterus, that it has to, the true pain means it will show its effect on the mouth of the uterus, which we call it as cervix. The mouth of the uterus has to become soft and take up and then dilate. Okay. And this is something, the formation of water bag is something which will, we examine and get to know, not you will not know. So all you need to know is that there is a pain which is happening either in the lower abdomen or in your back or in your upper legs, the thigh. the upper part of the thigh, which we call it as groin, right? The junction of the tummy and the legs. It will be around that area. Like sometimes some people feel it like a menstrual cramps. Okay. So just these are the true labor pain. Okay. And this labor pain, true labor pain, it can start anytime. It can happen anytime from your 7th month onwards, where we call it as preterm labor, the early labor. But the real labor pain for delivery, it starts 3 weeks before your due date. Anytime from 3 weeks from your due date. We usually give you a due date, right? Expected date of delivery. So it will start either 2 to 3 weeks before the due date. And coming to false labor pain, so this will be like it will not be increasing in nature, and sometimes it may be continuous pain. Okay, and it will subside over a period of time. You may feel that the pain has really started in the morning and it is there till afternoon, and after that it completely subsides on its own. That is a false labor pain. Or even sometimes it will be a continuous pain. It will not be like that coming and going with an interval in between. And with time, if the false labor pain is intermittent pain, which is not a continuous pain, after a period of time, it will not increase in nature. So these two things are important. One is it should not be continuous. Other thing is with period of time, it has to increase in the intensity, in the severity of the pain, and the interval has to come down. Okay. So you just give time. Just once you start having a feel, you yourself can observe the pain with having an eye on the clock, just to see when it's coming, when it's going. Okay, the dilatation part and the bag of membrane forming, all that only we need to check. Right. For that, you can give an hour's time and then come to the hospital, and then we will tell you whether it's a false pain or a true pain. Sometimes we do admit, if we are not sure whether it's a true pain or false pain, to again examine after 4 hours to see whether your uterus mouth is further opening up. Okay. So sometimes we don't admit directly. Either we send them home or we ask them to just stay for a few hours to know whether they are progressing or not, especially in multis. Multis means the people who are delivering for the second time or third time. Okay, not for the first ones. And these false labor pain, usually they subside with an enema, or after passing motion on their own, the pain subsides. So this is how you differentiate between a true labor pain and a false labor pain. And what is labor? Labor is a normal labor. There are two types of labor. One is normal labor, other one is an abnormal labor. Always true, false. Like normal labor is when they fulfill all these criteria. Abnormal labor is something different from what is called as normal labor. Normal labor is they go into labor on their own, and within a period of time, if it's a first baby, they deliver within a day or two, the baby's head is down, it's not the buttock which is down, and there is no complication for the mother of the baby. They all come under people who have a normal labor. Anything different, it can be called as an abnormal labor. Okay. So the labor definition is with the pain which it starts with a painful contraction and resulting in opening of the mouth of the uterus and the head coming down, and the baby comes out, and also after birth, after the baby, when the placenta comes out, when this from the pain to the delivery of the baby and after birth is the complete labor. Okay, so this is just for your, I'm just telling for an information. And when you're going to come with labor, what are the things you should do? Okay, the most important thing is you don't have to really panic. You can just stay calm, because this is something we were expecting, we were waiting. It is a nice thing to come in spontaneous labor, right? Because that comes under a normal labor. So if you are starting to develop any labor symptoms, like either you are having a show, or you are having a pain, or your water bag is breaking, so anything is a labor symptom. Okay, in that case, you just don't have to panic. You have to come to hospital with your records, and I'm sure you would have already packed your bags, and if you feel like drinking something, you can definitely have something to drink at that time. Don't have milk, but definitely you can have some juice. And do not eat a full meal if you are going to, come to hospital at that time. We will examine you and then tell you if you are not in labor, you can definitely eat something. We will ask you to have your lunch or dinner or whatever at that time you are coming. You can have your, solid diet at that time. And having a shower is fine if it's not an emergency. If it's not too much of pain, not too much of bleeding, not too much of water bag breaking, and just too much of fluid is coming out. If you have time, you can have your shower and then you can come. Considering this COVID time, I would definitely want to insist at this point that you please come, be mentally prepared to come with only with one attender. Okay, because that is a safe thing for you and for the hospital. Okay, definitely you're going to come to Bloom. We are the staff, the entire team, the nurse, the ward nurse, the labor nurse, the duty doctors, and your consultants, all are going to be there to support you. So all you need is, and everything is provided in the hospital. So just with your packed bag means, the things which you need, like your mobile, your toothbrush, some clothes, some your items packed, everything for 1 or 2 sets of dress. With that and your hospital record, you just come into the hospital anytime, either it's midnight 2 o'clock or a morning 10 o'clock. Once you think that you are having some kind of labor symptoms, you just walk into the hospital. Okay. And during this now being COVID, I'm sure Dr. Kavita has spoken in detail about COVID things yesterday to you all. And we are as per Government of India's guideline, we are supposed to do COVID testing for all women who are at least 1 week before their due date. They have to do their COVID blood test. We are not asking you to go to the places where a lot of people will be coming for testing. We don't want you to expose to that. So it is done in our hospital. You come to the lab and give the blood. We are getting the report in less than 24 hours. So once you come in labor, if you come in labor, we are doing the COVID test at that time. Or if we are doing it 1 week before your expected date of delivery, whoever is in 1 week before your expected date, we are doing the COVID testing at that time. So now do come with your mask and your gloves, okay, and your sanitizers, and hand wash frequently, okay, for 40 seconds. At this point, I really want to talk a few things about this, all these mothers who are near due date to deliver. They definitely are going through a lot of anxiety. Like the main thing is this COVID itself. What it will do to me or to my baby. But now it looks like it's coming under control, and there's not many cases reported in pregnancy or babies getting affected. That is not there. So don't worry about it. And the other concern they get is because of this, social isolation. They are not. If not COVID, I'm sure a lot of family members will, move into for their help at home or in the hospital, and their friends may visit them. All that will be less, so that might cause some little anxiety and finance. And during their pregnancy period, in the 7th month, 8th month, they have not visited their doctor, from whom they get a lot of support. That has also come down. That will be a concern. But I'm telling you, we have been doing really deliveries during the past, from the COVID started time. Patients are not having any issues. So just don't worry about it. Okay, any concern, any type of worries you have, you please talk to your doctor about it, either through a WhatsApp. We do have a WhatsApp group for our patients. So, you can just post in your thing. Dr. Kavita is very happy to reply to your queries, or you can give a call, or we are also doing a video consultation. So you can see your doctor and talk to them, right? And so just, definitely I want you people to be very positive and cheerfully look forward for delivering your baby. Okay. And So next, I would like to start with the questions because there were so many questions. So I thought if I can answer the questions, you will get at the end of it, you will have full idea about about this labor part. So the first question was somebody had asked, is the false pain intense as that of labor pain? I think it will not be intense. It will be very mild. From that only you can differentiate that it's a false pain. True labor pain, yes, with period of time, slowly it will increase and it will become painful. Okay, but it will be very, very gradual. Not that you something you have to worry about it. I'm in the 32nd week. Can I start my prenatal classes now? Yes, anytime you can definitely start your prenatal classes. Coming to the prenatal classes, I'm 200% for the classes because here most of the primees, most of our patients, they do attend the prenatal classes, and I find them, very comfortable during their labor and postnatal period. Okay, so they are able to. They means the patient and their partner, mostly their husbands, they are able to go through their labor with all the strength, and postnatal period is also very smooth for them. And antenatally, they cover, you are taught the exercises which it definitely helps you during your labor. Okay, so there is, it's never too late. You can definitely start attending your classes, whether you are in your 32 week or 34 weeks. By the way, pregnancy is 40 weeks. The total pregnancy is 40 weeks. Okay. Cervical length 3.5, will they get labor pain early than their ED, the expected date of delivery? Like, the labor pain starts because of hormonal changes which actually starts in the baby, causing a change in the mother to release certain chemicals which will give them the pain, which in turn will make the mouth of the uterus, the cervix, to open up. So irrespective of the length, whether we are concerned only if it is very short cervix, whether the length is 3 centimeter or 4 centimeters, it really doesn't matter. And that doesn't say us that, because you are 3.5, you will start at 35 weeks because you are, the other way around, it's totally a different thing. Because your length is long, not that you will get into labor early. You will get into labor when the labor process starts in the baby and in you. Would I be able to say how much I have dilated if I'm having true labor pains? If I have false labor pain, would drinking Zira water help? You won't be able to say how much you'll be dilated, because the dilatation is, we can find out the dilatation part by doing an internal pelvic examination. That's usually done by the midwife or the staff or the doctors. And false labor pain, yes, you can definitely try with Zira water. Okay, it's not going to do any harm. So you can try with your Zira water if you think it is a false pain. At the same time, keep looking for it. If it is increasing in intensity or the interval is coming down, then you have to think that probably it is become a false labor pain can get converted to a true labor pain. To begin with, it can be a false labor pain. Sometime after a period of time, it can become a true labor pain. Not necessarily all the time. Today I get false labor pain. After 2 days, I will get true labor pain. There is nothing like that. Okay, labor is something which nobody can predict. So usually people ask me, when will I get labor pain? We don't know how much, like you don't know. So only when the labor starts, we get to know, okay, yeah, I'm in labor because, there is bloody discharge is there, or my pains are starting, or my water bag is broken, and there's a lot of fluid coming out from my vagina. So only then we'll be able to tell that, you are getting into labor. Okay. So want to know about delayed clamping. I think you meant delayed clamping of the umbilical cord. This is lot of studies have been done, and it has been very clearly stated that it is a lot more beneficial for the baby because it really improves baby's hemoglobin because there is a lot of blood going from the afterbirth placenta to the baby because we are delaying the cutting of the cord. So we are definitely trying to do a delayed cutting to the babies who are not who are crying immediately after birth. If there is any like if they pass motion, they are not crying, then we are not delaying the cord cutting. It is definitely good, and we are doing it. Okay. What should be my amniotic fluid index in 34 weeks? Like at 34 weeks, that is like 8.5 months, your fluid should be good. There is no it should not be more, it should not be less. There is a cutoff for us. It should not be less than 8. It should not be more than 15. So anything like not 15 also, it should not be more than 17 or 18. Okay, it's not only the AFI, that amniotic fluid index, which you can see. Even also how clinically you are feeling comfortable with that amount of fluid, then it should be fine. So when you're coming for your checkup in around 32 or 33 or 34, 35 weeks, when your doctor sees you, we will be able to tell you this fluid is fine, or if it is less, we'll advise you accordingly, or if it's more, we'll also advise you what to be done. So there is no fixed thing for the 34 weeks. Okay. And labor management techniques, exercise and breathing to prepare for our actual labor. What are the labor management techniques and exercise? Labor management techniques is and the exercise, you can't do anything, you can't start doing it at that time when you are in labor. It is like if you had started doing it from your 5th month onwards, like from your 20 weeks onwards, it is really helpful because with the big tummy you won't be able to start doing those exercise at that time. So I definitely recommend you people to at least start with your walks after your 3rd month in the house. You sit down and you with your cross legs, you should sit in the floor. You can do your normal household works. And the exercise, you can attend the prenatal, antenatal exercise classes. It will be very helpful for you. And breathing, yes, breathing definitely it helps during labor. And we do all of obstetricians. We tell them to do a proper breathing. Slowly breathe in and breathe out. But unless you have learned to do it when you are pregnant, you won't be able to do it in your labor room. So that's how these prenatal classes come in to help. This is something you have to get trained to doing it. If slowly take in the air inside during your inspiration, fill your lungs, and then slowly bring the air outside when you breathe out. So this is the thing you have to do during when you are getting a labor pain contraction or during the labor pain. Because what happens is when the labor pain happens, the uterus contracts, it becomes tight, it becomes hard. The blood supply to the baby is cut off for that 30 seconds or 40 seconds. So when you breathe in slowly and breathe out, there is more oxygen going in once that after the cutoff. So you are giving a more good oxygen to the baby. And also it keeps you calm. Because with that pain, if you are not going to breathe, you are going to get exhausted very soon, and you will find it difficult when you have to push the baby out. So the breathing exercise is very, very important inside the labor room, and this exercises, prenatal exercise classes really helps you in the pushing part, because you will be more flexible. And you would have, your muscles, everything will not be tight, and you will be able to manage different posture, which will be better, which you feel comfortable at that time to push the baby out. Things first time mom should know. Things first time mom should know is, I'm sure, I think you can take everything, whatever I tell you today. First time mom, it's always the first time. So labor, just be mentally prepared for you to get any of the labor symptoms, and If any doubt, you call up your hospital or you message them, and then come anytime you have a doubt, any discomfort. Keep track of baby movements. So coming to baby movements near due date, you should look for your baby movements at least twice a day. You should at least do 3 movements in the morning, 3 movements in the evening, because babies do sleep for a couple of hours in between. Or they sleep when they are very active when you are sleeping, and they are sleeping when you are active and you are looking for the movement. So you have to have a way of looking for the movements either after your food or keeping your hand on your tummy. You start looking for the movements and make it a routine, like, to check for it at least once or twice a day. So keep track of baby movements and any labor symptoms you come. And like, your partner, whoever, either it's your husband or your mom or your good friend or your sister, whoever is there, if somebody is going to be with you in the labor room inside, it is a lot support to you. So, there are a lot of studies also, abroad and in India says that, a birth attendant makes a whole lot of difference in the outcome of the labor. Like, I mean, doctors do decide we allow you to have a normal delivery, or we decide for C-section for emergency cause, that's different. But other than that, from your side, if you are strong and you have a birth attendant who is very supportive to you, who is very patient, who is there with you, then it makes you go through this labor with ease. Okay. Shall we expect any vaginal discharge symptoms before labor pain gets started? Not necessarily it has to be there. Vaginal discharge can happen a little later once the pain starts, and then after you become 4 centimeters, the vaginal discharge can start, or that may be the first sign also. Okay, so don't worry if you get it also, don't worry if you don't get it also. Okay, sometimes some people will have all the 4 symptoms, some people will have only one. So don't, any one symptom is good enough. Okay, you need not have all the symptoms. What are the things needed for labor? I think you are asking about the kit. Most of the hospitals will have everything. They will have, the dress which you are going to wear in the labor room, and whatever you're going to drink, it's something to drink, and your other part of labor like a pain relief and all that will be taken care of by the hospital. So, like, only your personal things you have to get it with you. I can't be able to think more than that. Explain sleeping position in 6th month. From 6th month onwards, after 7th month, usually we say 7th month, because the uterus is little big that you cannot definitely sleep, facing upwards. Adnala, you can turn to one to your right side or left side. Either position is okay. You can keep changing your position, and whichever is comfortable. Sometimes instead of fully turning, if that is very uncomfortable for you, you can just put a pillow, they're just on our 15-20 degree tilt madri. If you lie down is also enough. Not that you have to fully go to one side, lie down on your left or to your right. Only nera padukka venda. See, only when you lie down straight, the baby will press on all the main vessels, blood vessels, all that it will press, and you'll feel little uncomfortable. Your blood pressure may go down. So that's why we say, turn to one side. And also the more, it's good for the baby if you're turning to one side, there's more blood flow to the baby. So you can, whichever is your comfortable position, right or left, this doesn't matter. A little bit of tilt is also fine. Okay. And I think there are more questions in my mobile. I can just read it and answer to you.
Yeah, Dr. Nazim?
Yes.
Can I read out the questions?
Yeah, you also have it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then you can just read it. I can reply.
Um,
Because all these questions came sometime back.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's a pain which doesn't come, that is, I don't get my labor pain on the expected due date, even
Mm-hmm.
after 40 weeks, how long can I wait?
Up till 41 weeks in India, we are waiting up till 1 week. Maximum is 1 week, ma. You can wait till 1 week's time, but that has to be decided by the obstetrician, by your doctor, depending upon the fluid of the baby. The fluid around the baby is good and you are not having any other problems in this pregnancy, where we can allow you to, like it's not a big baby or you're not having sugar, na, then we can give you, we can let you go another 2 3 days so that you come with spontaneous labor pain instead of we are inducing labor. So we have to, a decision can be made after seeing you, but you can be allowed. Okay.
Next question is, can I travel in car for 6 to 8 hours in 34 or 35 weeks? Because she's stuck in a native now and she's planning to come to Chennai by car.
Yeah, because it's only 34, 35, and it's only a matter of 4 to 6 hours. I'm sure you can come.
Okay. And next question is, my body mass index is 29, slightly
Okay.
overweight. Will
Okay.
this affect my chances for normal delivery? How do I tackle severe back pain? I'm 26 weeks pregnant.
She's
She
36
has
weeks now.
26 weeks.
26. Okay. Okay. See, now when you are pregnant, we really don't, the BMI part. It's slightly on the higher side, but don't get this difficult about it. The only thing is you make sure you don't gain too much weight. Like you can't do dieting also, but at the same time, make sure that you are not taking too much of carbs or sugars, sweets, chocolates, and you are keeping yourself active. And this BMI, because of this BMI, more BMI doesn't mean that you will end up in C-section. You can have a normal delivery. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay.
And next question is, what if water breaks? How long can we wait?
Water break, we will want you to come immediately to hospital because we don't know how much fluid is inside with the baby after the water bag has broken, and what is whether baby had passed motion inside. So, and how is the baby? So, well, that is the one labor symptom for which that and very too much bleeding, we want you to come immediately. Labor pain, you can take your time, 1 to 2 hours, depending upon the pain. If it's mild pain, you can give an hour's time, see and come. But water bag break, you come immediately. But when you come, not necessarily we are going to rush and deliver you immediately. From that, we usually give time. Sometimes we have waited for 24 to 48 hours, depending on the patient, right?
Okay. Yeah, another question. Uh, I'm 34 weeks pregnant now. It's a second pregnancy. So she's here for a VBAC. So last few days, she's feeling short pain for few minutes for at least twice a day. Left side of my hip and lower abdomen. Sometimes I can feel like baby pushing down. Lower abdomen pain, is it okay? And as my first baby is C-section 4 years ago, I'm not sure is it a normal pregnancy pain or due to my previous section pain. So how to differentiate the pain?
She's how many weeks now?
34 weeks.
34 weeks, yeah. 34 weeks is because of the stretching of the scar, no? Because that where they made a C-section, you can definitely, you may feel a little bit of lower abdominal pain because of the scar is getting stretched, but you don't have to worry about it if it is a mild pain. Okay. And only any pain, if it is increasing in nature or if it is very painful, you have to come to hospital. If it's a mild pain, if it just starts and it goes off, you don't have to worry. Only thing is, if somebody who had a previous normal delivery, you don't have to worry at all about the pain. But if it's a previous cesarean section, naturally you will be concerned. But if it's a mild pain, you don't have to worry. But it's the same mild pain, it is persistently there. You are having this mild pain for the past one day, the whole day you had, pain. It's not going at all. It is persistently, it is there, or it is increasing, or it is severe pain. You come and see us because it was a previous cesarean section. You can always see emergencies. We are seeing anytime. And so you can always, because 34 weeks also, like, we have to also labor pain can start anytime from 30 weeks onwards. So you can, if you think the pain is just not subsiding in 1 hour or 2 hour or 4 hours, you can just come in and see us. Okay.
Another question is, ma'am, is there any possibility to avoid sutures after natural birth?
To avoid?
Sutures after natural birth.
Which is after natural birth. See, it is just a very, after natural birthing, usually the stitches, very one or two stitches only, because, we are waiting enough time, we are giving enough time for the, for the baby to come slowly and then come out, no? Generally, the stitch needed is very, very small. So, it all depends upon the head size of the baby and with what pressure it's coming out. So we are giving support from externally, but also at the time of coming out, it can just give a little way. Usually they have only a 1 centimeter cut or something, right? So if you don't stitch it, no, it will become very lax, and later on when you are having to have a contact with your husband, he might feel it very lax. That is another reason we stitch it. If you don't want it, we will not.
Next is, I'm 28 weeks pregnant and having lower back pain. How to deal with it?
Lower back pain, how to
deal with it?
There are a lot of, at 28 weeks, there are a lot of reasons for the pain. Because it may be, it becomes heavy, the baby becomes 1 kg, 2 kg. So suddenly, that full heaviness is on the bladder, on your muscles there. So don't get worried about little lower abdominal pain or back pain. Like again and again, I'm telling you, any pain which is, with time becoming more, or it is there, not going, not getting relieved, then you definitely have to come. A mild pain, on and off pain, don't worry about it. It will be there because the uterus is growing up. It is getting stretched.
The next question is, I'm finding it difficult to free up my legs and sit. Is it wrong to put one leg on top of another while sitting on the chair?
No. You can.
Okay. Is episiotomy mandatory? Please explain about the recovery and healing process of the vaginal tear during normal delivery.
Episiotomy is only to help. It is a small cut which we make to help the baby to come out without, if otherwise it may get torn here and there. So we just help the baby to come out, and then it's once we make a cut, it's easy for it to stitch. It is a thing which which we have been doing. Right royally, that you really don't have to worry about it. It's just that that cut, same how it was cut, we just close it back. So if you are not for a natural birth, if you are only for a normal delivery with your physician, then if we you'll get exhausted by the time the baby's head comes. But definitely we don't give a very big cut. We really wait for the head to come down so that it nicely stretches, so that we make a very small cut. It all depends upon the position of the baby, the size of the baby, and how strong is your pain. If the pain is very strong and you're just pushing it out, then that definitely the tear will happen. We don't want the tear to go elsewhere, like to a urinary bag or to a motion bag. So to safeguard those things, we are just making a cut sideways. So yes, it is a very small thing. You don't have to worry about it.
I think the second question also is about episiotomy only. You already answered that. And the next thing is, I have a cord-like discharge, 29 weeks.
So just once baby is out, just listen to babies cry and just enjoy that moment. Don't worry about the episiotomy. That is doctor's job.
Next thing is 29 weeks of pregnancy has cord-like discharge. So is it normal?
What like discharge?
Curd like discharge, 29 weeks of pregnancy.
29. See, vaginal discharge is more common in pregnancy, right from the first month onwards. So if you have severe itching, along with the curdy discharge, if there is also you are feeling like scratching inside your vagina or outside your vagina, or if there is a bad smell, you have to come because it can be an infection and it has to be treated.
Okay. Next one is if the cervix is not open despite after 39 weeks, any suggestion to get it open by nature, like any specific exercise or so, if any?
Like I told you, the labor itself starts with the hormones from the mother and the baby. So, we cannot, that's what we do is like, if you don't, that is called induction of labor only. It can be done, the mouth of the uterus can only be opened with, with medications, which can be done after admitting you. We induce labor, induction of labor, which there is no other food, I mean, maybe I don't think any food item can help you with getting you pain or opening the mouth of the uterus. It's a natural labor, spontaneous onset of labor you come in, or we induce labor with same hormones, either we put it like a gel in the mouth of the uterus or give you as a tablet.
Okay, next question is my 31st week scan says umbilical cord is seen in the neck region. Should I need to do any precaution while sleeping or traveling?
No, you don't have to do anything. It's not under your, we can't do anything about it, and we don't have to really, give importance to that at all. Because most of the time it will be like, garland. You can see it near. It's not that it's tightening the baby. Okay, it can be just that they are having a nice garland or a shawl on their neck.
The next one is I'm 36 years old and 22 weeks pregnant. My current weight is 99 kg. Will I have a chance of normal delivery or C-section? Any suggestion? How should I prepare myself as I'm overweight?
Do your prenatal exercise, eat right. I mean, if you're not attended classes, then do your walking and squatting positions at home, and avoid the junk food and carbs and sweets and chocolates. Eat healthy food, and there is nothing like the people who are on the heavier side will end up in C-section. It's not like that. Okay, all the normal delivery or C-section depends upon lot of things. Babies. How is the bone, mother's pelvic bone? How is the baby's position in that? Okay, whether it's seeing upwards or downwards, how it's rotating inside, how is the uterus mouth opening, how is the head coming down. So, wait, I think you should make up your mind for normal delivery. If there are no complications in pregnancy, you will deliver normally.
Next one is I had a pubic pain during my first delivery. While lying and turning around, it lasted even after delivery. How can I avoid during the second pregnancy? And I have scoliosis problem and delivered first baby normally. So will I have the same problem during my second delivery, or will it increase my back pain?
I know this is a real concern. I can understand. But each pregnancy is different. What you might have excessive vomiting in the first pregnancy. The second one, you may not vomit at all. So each pregnancy, like how each human is different, each pregnancy is different. So this pelvic pain is because the bones are like, like this, the front pelvic bone, it stretches like this to receive the baby. So it may not be very severe in the next pregnancy. So I hope that you don't have that severe pain. And after delivery, it goes back to its normal position and the pain subsides. Okay, only thing is for your back pain, you just consult with your ortho that everything is okay. There is no other problem with the back pain. If you are again, if ortho doctor says everything is okay, then we can have a normal delivery, and you may not have much pain in this pregnancy and delivery.
Next is it mandatory to lie down while delivering my normal delivery, or I can use a slightly inclined position to push the baby?
Yeah, when the baby is coming out, only baby is coming out will make you lie down straight. But pushing, you can turn to one side and push. We allow the mothers to take their own position. To if you had attended Jayashee's classes, you wouldn't have been asking me all this.
Actually, she has attended. That's why she's asking.
Okay. No, no, you can take any position. And the baby is coming out. Also, probably, we have enough space for the baby to come out. We will let you.
It's a question like, can I use castor oil for labor, for induction?
Applying on your tummy, right?
Some people take it.
Yeah, taking, I am not sure because I don't want you to end up having a diarrhea and get dehydrated. Applying, yes, and little quantity of taking in is also should be okay. Though I don't recommend.
Not much of scientific proof is there. That's a problem.
Not much of scientific proof, which is the elders at home, maybe they
வீட்ல சில டைம் பட்டர் சாப்பிடு குழந்தை வலிக்கிட்டு விழுந்துடும். Does perineal massage really help for stretching during normal delivery?
Yeah, perineal massage, yes, it helps.
Any specific exercise for groin region will be said tomorrow, but not specific. We can't say. We have to assess you, and then we have to say. Simply telling any exercise, you may go with muscle catch. So that's why exercise are not being told in the webinar.
Yeah, that's why exactly. Yeah, I'm just generally telling you it works or it doesn't work. If you want it, then you have to learn the right way, right?
Next is I'm 37 weeks pregnant. From morning I'm feeling cramps in my lower back. It's very light, not severe. My daily movements has also reduced. But does this mean my labor could be anytime? I have only 24 months different from last C-section.
24 months, which is 2 years. And now you are 37 weeks. Yeah, see, once you are near 37 weeks, your labor pain can start any moment. Or it may be just the head getting into the pelvic bone. You can feel pain sometimes. If the pressure of the head can give you the pain, or the head dipping into the pelvis can give you a pain. The head getting fixed, right? So those can be the reason. But again, I'm saying, because you are a C-section and if the pain is persistent, we need to know whether you are contracting or not, what is your mouth of the uterus, how it is. So you can come for a checkup if the pain is persisting.
Is there any difference between natural birthing and normal delivery? I'm 26 weeks pregnant, twin pregnancy, getting pain in the groin region, especially while turning left to right or right to left during sleep. With twin pregnancy, can I do all exercise like squats?
Twin pregnancy, yes, is the catch. Twin pregnancy, yes, we have delivered normally, provided the first one is a head and the second one is also a head, or at least turning and becoming like a head, and with other lot of things like your diabetes or whether both the babies are of normal growth, not that one is small, one is big. So twin pregnancy, yes, it is a high risk situation. It is not a normal like having one baby. So twins and like previous cesarean twins, everything is a slightly high risk pregnancy. You need more like how you come for a frequent every 2 weeks checkup. Even labor is totally different from a normal labor. But I think the exercise part, everything you can continue to do if you are comfortable. The only thing is your tummy is a little bigger. But if you can manage to do all your exercise, definitely it is helpful. And at the last, last 2-3 weeks before your due date, when you consult your doctor, they will tell you whether you can have a normal delivery or we have to go for section. So at that time, you can take a call.
Okay, next is, can I use a maternity support belt to support my tummy? Will it reduce my back pain or pubic pain? Maternity support belt.
Support belt. Yeah, you can use a belt because that helps you to give like some kind of support, no? Because this ligaments all which had gone, stretched, slowly coming back. So at that time, if something is hugging around your body and giving a support, you will feel good. So initially you do use the abdominal belt, but later on, if it's a normal delivery after 2 weeks or if it is a C-section after a month, you must start doing your postnatal exercise.
Okay, next is I'm 24 weeks pregnant, staying far from hospital. It takes almost 2 hours to reach the hospital in traffic. What are the precautionary things to be taken when we get labor pain?
Uh, we do have people coming from far off places. See, the maximum, if you say it is 2 hours during the peak traffic hour, and if this is your first baby, I'm sure you will have enough time. I know most of the times people have this concern. And then, if there is any crash emergency, like, you are having a lot of bleeding, anything, that time it doesn't make sense to travel 2 hours to come to hospital. Or if there is any emergency like that, I will advise you to call for ambulance and come by ambulance so that you reach faster. Or go to a nearby hospital where you can immediately, go and reach that hospital as soon as possible. This is a very rare situation. That's very, I think labor can be like anything. That's why I have to say this. In such situations, you have to take a call. Otherwise, you can come to hospital. You will first baby. You will definitely have time.
Is it safe to take epidural?
Yes, it is very. The epidural is meant for what is epidural? Epidural is meant for pain relief during labor. So because it is safe only, it has been advised throughout the world to take that injection during the labor pain. But when to give that injection will be decided by your doctor, because it cannot be given very early, it cannot be given very late. So if you can take, it gives you a lot of benefit, like till you become fully dilated, till you're going to push, you're not going to feel the pain, and that does not decide whether you will end up in C-section or normal. You know, and what I'm trying to say is, if you take epidural, you will end up only in cesarean. It's not like that, and it doesn't cause any later on back pain. It is safe if you want to have it.
And in my antenatal classes, they told me to take epidural. They need to have a consent sign from both husband and wife. So if my husband is not here, is it okay if I alone sign it?
Yeah, if it's not there, yes, no, you are an adult, so I think only you can sign for it.
Okay.
Or
Can you
to be safe, or if your mother or any one more person, always there is always the witness partner, not that, like, so you, and if your husband is not there, your mom or your sister, who is there, they can sign for it. It's just that every procedure there has to be a consent form. That's why it's taken. Not to be a forced
okay.
form.
Can you please explain difference between natural birthing and normal delivery?
Natural birthing is, like olden days when people used to deliver in their house and in the fields uh, without doctors. That is how labor is. It's very natural. So that's a natural birth. Like, we are not going to use any medication. We are not going to keep on examining you. We will not give you any medicines unnecessarily. We will not make a cut. And only thing is, instead of delivering in the field, you are delivering in a hospital with a backup. Like, at the same time, the doctors are there. If there is any emergency, at the same time, we take care of the safety of you and your baby. So we'll be keep checking your baby's heartbeat, and we will see how your labor is progressing. So with our support in the background, you will be just going through the labor naturally. It will take a longer time, but the end of it, you have that satisfaction of going through it fully by yourself. So it is all, it's up to you and your partner to support fully.
Will the position of the baby will change in 36, 37 weeks?
After 37 weeks, they usually don't change. They get fixed in that. Till that time, they keep changing. Till the 34 weeks, it can change. It can go around, but after that, they don't change. Very rarely.
Normally, how the baby is positioned inside?
After the 9th month, the head is down. That is 95% of the time, it is the head which is down.
think we covered all the questions.
Yeah.
Most of the questions have been covered. Yes, you want to have water, Dr. Naseem?
And this power is low, so I'm just calling. It's only showing 7%.
Okay, okay.
Battery loan part is
Many questions are regarding of exercises, pubic pain, low back pain, when to start with this exercise. All these things are there. See, certain exercises are individual specific. So there's one question on which exercise to change the breech position. So breech position to change, we have to see the weight of the baby and how far the fluid level is there, the space, pelvic space. Based on that only, we could help you out. So, like in a word, we can't say yes, you do these exercise, yes, you do those things. There's two things are there coming for exercises. It is like laxity, otherwise tightness. Both are not good. It has to be balanced. Both has to be balanced. So many questions have been in regards to it where you will get answers on that, not direct answers, but a general information regarding it in tomorrow's FB Live. But individual specific muscle assessment is very much required to tell about whether you need to do it or not to do it. So next question is, in my last scan, they said baby is in cephalic presentation. What does that mean? The scan was taken in 29 weeks.
Cephalic means the head is down position. But like I told you, till the 9th month, it can rotate. So if it rotates, no problem. But we see the position of the baby only in the 9th month or when you come in labor. What is the position? If you come in labor before 9th month, at that time we see what is the position of the baby. Otherwise, 9th month they get fixed. Like after 35 weeks they get fixed.
How to descend the baby down? It's not it.
No, the position of the baby, they occupy a position which is very comfortable for them. So, it is nothing to do with your diet or exercise or sometimes the shape of the uterus which makes them comfortable to be in a sitting position, which we don't have any control over it. But they say when the baby is sitting position, if you go on a knee elbow position, it may rotate, or externally we can rotate the baby depending upon a few criteria, which is a procedure, which is a totally different thing. Otherwise, usually 95 to 97% of the time it's only the head down.
How long do we need to wait between the contractions before coming to the hospital?
If it's a first baby, I will tell you, you can give easily 1 to 2 hours. If it is a mild pain, if it's a severe pain coming every 10 minutes, you come in an hour's time. Like one pain every half an hour, you can wait for 2 hours. Whether in the 2 hours, you see whether within half an hour, again it's becoming every once in 20 minutes, every 15 minutes, every 10 minutes. Slowly, it's becoming more frequent. You can come after that. But beginning itself, you are having a good contraction every 10 minutes. Don't wait for 2 hours. Probably you had pain earlier, which we would have been busy with some work. Sometimes suddenly we see people coming with 3. Like today, one patient came and she was already in 3 centimeters. She said, "I never had any pain." So it's like severity of the pain. If it's a severe pain, frequent pain, you come and check.
Okay, it is down but not engaged. Due date is nearing.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Head is down.
Okay.
Baby head is down but not engaged. What to do as to engage the baby? There's a due date is nearing for her.
Baby head not getting into pelvis, which is known as engagement. It can sometimes happen during when the labor pain starts. It can happen if there is more fluid, lot of water, and baby is just floating in it. It will not go in. With after the due date or when the pain starts, it might start going in. So you have to give time. You have to be a little patient about it. We have to only wait and watch.
think we're clear with all questions. I haven't left with anything. Thank you, Dr. Nazim. Thank you for talking and explaining very patiently to each and every
Thank you.
question. Thank you so much. I know it's so busy for you in and out with IP, OP, everything. Thank you again. And to all the viewers, tomorrow there's FB Live. Please join the Bloom Birthing Center FB page. So once you log into the FB page only, you can watch the FB Live. So FB Live will explain you what's the biomechanics behind these muscles to give you all these kinds of pulls and pains. So it's not like a general exercise or general thing will work out mostly. Because even in my class, people think, oh, these same set of exercise can be done. No, actually for some people, I'll tell them to stay back and I'll tell them something else, which many doesn't know. So what is commonly known is different. What is individual specific also is different. And please stay back for tomorrow's FB Live, where Dr. Naseem, Dr. Kavita, and myself will be there to answer you in live questions. And Dr. Naseem had explained you in detail how to pinpoint your labor contractions and come to hospital. So I hope that helps you all. So today's offer is those who all attended will get hypnotherapy session for free. So you'll be getting notification. So as many people have enrolled, I have to do it in batches. I'm not sure, some are in 34, 36 weeks. By the time I give you the offer, you would be delivered. So if it so happens, happy to see you after delivery also. So thank you, Dr. Naseem. Thank you one and all for joining for today's session. See you all tomorrow also in the FB Live. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you one and all. So best wishes for the mothers to be.